Okay, so I should. All right, so
Yeah, hi, we're live doing the second one of the this style of video. Today we have Jamie. I put your info in the description if they want to reach you on Twitter. So I'm gonna start with the first question. How did you get into GamerGate?
uh, I got into GamerGate initially from GameFAQs forum. I've been there for like 10 years, and like occasionally, stuff comes along the way. And back in August, there was one topic on, the Zoe stuff, and I didn't care about it. But inside was one of the people who he knows, a chanter, and he mentioned something about the fine young capitalists. And as I looked into that, I was kind of wondering what was going on with the fine young capitalists and that idea. And I think at this point V had already done that first day funding with like 15,000 or something like that, 13,000. So that's when I was like, okay, this is something different. Like 4chan V specifically is not going to just kind of throw 13,000 out of pettiness. So I got into it a little further from there and found out about the Wizards, and that was basically that point when I hit my limit of like, I'm gonna be stuck in here until this thing ends.
All right. So currently, the state of GamerGate. What do you think of it so far?
All right, well, current state of Gamergate is one that I like, in but think that has a lot of confusion to it still. I like the fact that right now a lot of people can be themselves and act the way they want to, as they're consumers and they are behaving as just people. They're not part of a movement. That's the way I like it. I understand that some people want it to be a little more and they behave it as a little more, and I'm fine with that as well because different types always makes for a stronger group. At the same time, I think it's kind of just misunderstood in that a lot of different types. You're gonna get just random shit posters and who do nothing but shit post, and that's perfectly fine. We need those people, just like we especially need, the more hands-on people, the diggers, the ones who are willing to do. And Alejandro, we definitely need a good artist to help us keep our morale up. Oliver's another one who we like. These are just people who just as individuals, they have a service, and the current state seems to do a pretty good job of taking in out getting too deep into it because someone is always behind you, ready to keep you in check. So there you
All
go.
right. So, what do you think Gamergate is going to become in the future? Do you think it's going to become some sort of watchdog? Do you think it will change in any sort of way? What do you think?
Uh, Honestly, at this point, I kind of think Gamergate is trying to become its own the industry. Like our Gamergate was the community and something that was a part of your own identity. I think we hit that point back in October and November for a lot of people. Just straight up going on through those months, and it dropped off a bit in December, but come January, everyone was back, and I figured if everyone can take a drop off and come back, you've effectively established a group of people big enough to say this is a community now.
Yeah, true.
It's gone from the point from like we were a network before. Like that was the whole point of our Skynet. Like we were a network of just people, and we've kind of gone a little further. We've done social networking to it. That's kind of the end result. So I do believe some people will try to become watchdogs, and there's a few sites that are working on that. There was an add-on who recently posted about reviewing reviewers, and that seems to be taking off. Has some interesting facets to it. I also think that we are going to have journalists live up to our standards, and many of these, I believe, will probably come out of Gamergate itself. I think this is not a very short-term result because once you establish a community that's this open and transparent and any admission is a good admission, at that point, I think it's trying to become its own subgroup within the industry, while at the same time not uh, doing any of the cabal mix-ups that currently exist. Awards are probably one of the biggest things I'm expecting within the next 6 months. I do believe that come around Solution 6 months that we will probably have our own kind of mini award thing going online.
Yeah, that would be fun to see, really, if that happened.
Yeah, and like Jennifer Daw has that Solution 6 months. It's people have been looking into it, how to do it. We've got some devs speaking out. I know Mark Kern's doing his own site for probably like the more moderate slash lighter side of Gamergate. That's not as deep to it, more normal people, I suppose. But I do think there's the legs to it aren't going to be exclusively on Twitter. It's just going to be where you all come back and say hi. We just kind of drift apart slowly, while at the same time it's changing everything going on.
All right. And last question is, do you think what is GamerGate doing well right now, and what could it improve on, in your opinion?
Let's see. It's it's doing well in most people understanding what their roles are, I think. Like, at this point, I believe if you wanted to, I mean, we still do know there are people out there, so it's not for everyone, but we know like if you want to be a digger, you can be a digger. You have the place to go. You know of. I think that we have especially done a good job of centralizing while remaining decentralized. We have KIA, we have the vote, which is used by very few people. We have the Gamergate board, we have V. All four of these, vote I'm not sure if I would count as much, like it's order. I don't know how big it is exactly. So, but the three main ones at
Well, we also
least,
have
V,
IRC,
Gamergate.
to be honest.
Oh no, the IRC has been a big place for a lot of people to go to. Like Burgers and Fries is the main one that everyone knows of. And I'm sure there's many smaller ones here and there's, and of course Skype cabals.
Yeah.
But I do think that we've done a very good job in decentralizing ourselves while keeping three main pillars that can kind of check each other. V the other two because autism is extremely good over there, and god damn it, they can figure shit out damn well. Unfortunately, they're kind of prone to drama since it is one topic, and it does kind of get off topic a bit. To which you go to GamerGate for the more intensive things. Like there are some digging over there in Honeypot, GamerGate, whatever. And KIA kind of supplements both of them very nicely. So I think that's one of the best things that we've managed to do. Which, when you think about it, the ways back and struggling where to be, we now have three places. All are fairly well contained. Reddit, uh, if KIA still exists right now,
Yeah.
right? Okay, then yeah, if Reddit
It
wasn't
just
gonna
it just
close.
hit 30,000 and got subreddit of the day on Reddit.
Yeah, I was just wondering because of yesterday's drama didn't kill KIA off, then that means Reddit fully identifies it as a containment board. So they will be safe because they are too big to die right now. So that's always good.
Yes. Anything you would improve on?
Improve on. Um, One thing I think that kind of needs just a bit of improvement is to remember mostly again like what exactly our roles ought to be, as well as what we want them to be. Like right now, for many of us, like we ought to just, or we could just be shit posters. Whatever you ought to be is going to be what you determine is where your interests best are, like where your skills are best used. Where you want to be, in some cases, I think people are trying to overstep what, like, if you're just a normal person, remember that you're just a normal person then. Like you cannot do the professional psychiatric work. You cannot do the development work. If you want to do that, you need to evolve from normal person to developer. Like that is a change you need to make, and I think people aren't quite. I'm not sure if they're quite willing to do it or if that they're just too afraid to do it. That's one room of improvement I can see. Is understanding where you are, where you want to be, and doing it. Like all doors are open right now. Um, what improve on? Oh,
So,
drama. Uh, easy idea with drama is just remember everyone has a voice, everyone has their opinions, everyone can vent, and everyone can just kind of chill and relax afterwards. Get into an argument, fine, but if need be, play some video afterwards with that other person just to make sure it's cool, or just trying to make sure that it doesn't break apart because of any one particular fight. That you still remember you're dealing with another human being, and there's no need to get too upset from different opinions or from being from them being angry at you and vocalizing it. I'd rather the person be honest with me and tell me they're pissed off as opposed to tell me that just have a grudge.
yeah, that's I think is some good advice. Yeah, that's about it. I put you, as I said, I put your Twitter tag in the description. So if people want to follow you, they are more than welcome to, as long as they don't harass you or any shit like that. um, so
That's
yeah,
been weird. All right,
so I want to thank you for coming on, and yeah. So for those watching, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.
see ya.